All right, guys, so this is my top 5 pieces of advice for sports card collecting. Number 1, make sure you actually collect something. It sounds crazy, but all of the flipping and the short-term thinking around hot players and trends is great. It's fun, but I recommend that you actually collect something for a year or more. And the reason is it takes that thinking out. You actually enjoy it and display it, experience the collection. There's also some tax implications that are quite positive if you hold it for over a year and then ultimately sell it. I won't go there, but just in general, my first piece of advice there is to collect something for more than a year. Number 2, look for real scarcity, not manufactured scarcity. And what I mean by that is you look at all the one-of-ones that are out there, and there are thousands of one-of-ones produced every year across multiple sets. These aren't really one-of-ones when there's like another almost identical product. And that is manufactured scarcity, okay? In 50 years, we may look back and say, wow, those one-of-ones are really one of 5,000. And they might not hold the value that they do now. I can't guarantee that. I could totally be wrong, but just my take on it. I think you got to watch out for that, the different variations and combos. It's cool, it's fun, but look for real scarcity. And often, not always, but often you can find real scarcity in vintage cards. They're not making any more of them. You can really find it in vintage autograph cards. So you've got thousands of one-of-ones, but how many signed Bill Russell rookies are there? Will that hold up in value over time? Probably. That might not be what you like, and that's fine. There's certainly some high-end stuff, modern stuff right now that is considered really scarce. You get triple logo mans and your NFL shields and just some really unique stuff that Fanatics is putting out with like Wemby drawing on his face and stuff like that. That's kind of cool. That might actually be worth something too, but just consider real scarcity versus manufactured scarcity. I think that's important. Number 3, networking. Some of us are extroverts and this is natural. Some of us are introverts and it's not natural. The good news about sports cards is you got 2 options. You know, you can go to local shows or regional shows or national shows and be extroverted and make connections with dealers and things like that. But you also have the option to do this behind your computer, protected and safe and introverted. There's groups like SCN, just Google that, SCN Collectors, where there's all sorts of discussion boards about collecting and trading. There's Facebook groups dedicated to different years and cards and types. Instagram's wonderful. I'm on there as Boston Card Hunter if you want to hit me up. Great community of collectors, all types, vintage, modern, everything. Get out there and network, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a better deal meeting up with somebody in person, or somebody you trust meeting up with them in person, than just buying it off of eBay, paying all the fees and taxes and shipping and stuff like that. It's not always possible, and you can't always trust everybody online. But if you're in a forum that's got 6,000 people and somebody's got like 500 vouchers, and you can literally look at their history and they're doing goods and services on PayPal, it's a pretty good chance it's going to work out as long as you make sure they possess the cards. So network, and that will help you find the cards that you need. Number 4, GOATs versus prospects. For me, I feel like you should do a little bit of both. The prospects are fun, right? You are a fan of your team, your son wants to go to the game with you. It's cool to have a player of that, the card of that player. I think that's important for collecting. You get to like experience it. The player does well, you have their card, it's cool, it's on your desk. You need to do that. There's also, breaking's great. Like if you're into gambling, it's literally gambling. But if you're into that, that's awesome. Go have fun and break. I think that's a great idea. And in terms of long-term value, deciding what you want there, I would focus on GOATs. It's not as fun, it's not as sexy. The GOATs are sometimes more expensive, and that's your Tigers, MJs, Jackie Robinson, Bill Russell, Larry Bird, stuff like that. They're done. Their GOAT status is cemented. I've got a few of them behind me on the wall. I got Bird here, got a Russell jersey. I have Paul Pierce. I don't know if he's a GOAT, but I'm a Celtics fan. I can't help it. I think that A mix of both is healthy. Find a good mix that works for you, but have a little bit of prospecting, have a little bit of gold collecting. Fifth piece of advice, think international. You know, the growth of this hobby, I expect, I did an analysis on this. The hobby should double in the next 5 or 6 years. A lot of that growth is going to come from international expansion. So if you think about that, what's going to do well, right? You got your soccers, you got your F1 racing, you have sports that are kind of maybe rugby, something like that, UFC. Not all of our sports are international. So it's important to explore that from that perspective. And even beyond sports, I know this is about sports cards, but just think about, TCG, like trading card games, like Pokemon and all of that stuff. That is, I'll tell you, most dealers at shows and most card shops have Pokemon cards because they're popular. They make money. People are into them. I'm not really a fan myself, but I got a couple Charizard things going on in the safe, and it's not the worst thing to invest in because Charizard ain't getting injured. Charizard never retires. Dude's the same age, same skills, and he's still rolling. All right, quick recap. Number 1, collect something for more than 1 year. Number 2, understand real versus manufactured scarcity. Number 3, know how and where to network. Number 4, balance goats versus prospects. And number 5, think internationally. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a ton of fun putting it together. If you want to check out something really cool, we've got an interview with Rick Probstein, #1 consigner for all of eBay for collectibles. He had some crazy knowledge he was dropping on us and really told us how the inner workings of eBay worked. So I would definitely check this out if you guys got some time.